It's better than the flatlining we had before.
Right.
And occasional squares like that. This looks like our regular Nothing Cast, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Like,
that's true. The one thing I was wondering about is
you could eventually get like a mic.
Oh, maybe this one, changing the recording volume down, move that down a little, and then talky loudness, yeah, blah. Okay.
So that way, when we're like yelling and stuff, it doesn't like go past.
It doesn't peak.
Doesn't peak, yeah, because peak always makes it terrible.
Yeah.
Okay.
It just like you can't do anything with it.
Are we gonna leave this in?
Maybe.
Maybe.
Sure.
Okay.
Welcome to Nothing Cast.
Yeah, let's go right into it. That's pretty great. Close. Nothing Cast, the one where we fool around with the recording settings at the beginning.
Yeah. Oh man.
Oh, it's been a while.
It has been a while.
Yeah. I had a whole sound crisis with my computer where apparently there was like it's like so like a game software or something using your sound drivers and basically just stole them. So I reinstalled the sound drivers on your computer. I was like, oh, so and it was like an Xbox game. I'm like, I don't have an Xbox. So I just got rid of all the shady stuff I downloaded off the internet, like all the shady games.
Oh. That's good, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, my computer wasn't working.
No. He told the same guy
Okay,
computer. He's like, oh yeah, so this one's basically dead. My suggestion is to move the hard drive from this one onto another one if you want to keep all your stuff.
Yeah.
Basically, don't use this one. Also, he said that apparently you were using it on he's like, is this use this one a lot on like soft surfaces like.
Yeah, I was, but then I thought that might be a problem, so I stopped doing that.
Yeah,
and it still wasn't working. So.
He said that would be a problem because
it seemed like there was a problem with the fan because it wouldn't spin fast when it would, which you'd think because I thought it was just overheating.
Mm-hmm.
So I would do all the things that you could do to make it not overheat.
Did you put an ice pack on your
I didn't put ice on it, but I kept it in a cool area, flat surface, all that stuff.
Oh, okay.
And it just the fan wouldn't do anything; it would just die. It would just turn off after 20 minutes.
Oh, okay.
So, anyways, that's about my computer.
Oh, okay. Neat. So you told me that you had a rant on Harry Potter or something.
Yes.
You really wanted to tell me this. Also, we can talk about Doctor Strange because I saw that.
Oh, nice. Yes, we'll
definitely
do that also. I was watching some video and they were talking about how the 2000s era is a weird decade because it doesn't really have anything.
2000 to 2010.
2000 to 2010.
Okay, 2010. Didn't Inception come out in 2010?
Yeah, I think so.
That's about it, though.
Yeah, right?
That's the only cool thing.
The 90s is grunge and
2000
cool
2010 we got 9/11 and international terrorism.
Yeah, that's what we got. Yeah, 80.
Hooray for this decade.
Yeah, each decade has a specific style to it, and
early 2000s has a very distinct music style and movie style, I would say.
Yeah, early 2000s, but that's just kind of the 90s extended a little bit.
It's the 90s extended edition.
Yeah.
Early 2000s, the 90s part 2.
Yeah, the 90s really didn't end until 2004.
Yeah, pretty much. Because that's when Friends stopped airing around that, I think, in 2004.
Oh, yeah.
So that would probably be
there it is.
Yeah.
90s is also an interesting era because it's instead of just it was everything in the 90s. It was trying to be hip and cool and relevant, which now that the 90s was 20 years ago, it's so out of date and,
I know.
And so does not hold nothing holds up at all that it's it's hilarious. Oh, we thought that was cool. Or if you look at stuff from the 80s, they just tried to make quality stuff and try to innovate.
Vinyl is still really cool
and stuff like that.
I think records are pretty awesome.
Yeah, records weren't invented in the 80s.
I know, but they still hold up though from whenever they were invented.
Yeah.
But that was just your standard music listening to thing or whatever. And CDs don't really hold up. I bought a CD for the first time in 7 years probably. A couple weeks ago just because I saw it. I'm like, this is cool. I want this. And it's cool to have the physical CD. I'll show you.
Yeah, I like.
There's some really cool. There's some really cool art on it.
That was my era as well.
So the front is just super trippy, whatever. And then the back it's a map kind of.
Oh,
it takes you through.
That's cool. It's It's like a Lord of the Rings map or something.
or like a Mario almost.
Yeah,
It
is actually.
Yeah, and so it's like
It's
you
got
see
like
the song
like a
called
Mario
Serpents,
world.
and there's some snakes next to it.
Oh yeah.
And there's Smooth Seas Don't Make Good Sailors, and it's next to a sea. And then Rock Bottom, there's some rocks.
That's pretty great.
Yeah.
That's actually really awesome.
Yeah, so it's really cool. And then on the inside, there's more trippy ass art.
That's it. Yeah, like album art is so cool.
I know.
Like, it's just like the two things, album art and music videos. It's just like fucking go crazy. Like do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like a normal painting or like a normal video where it's like a video would like just tell a story.
Yeah.
Or like a
some of
normal
these stories
painting
aren't
or just
even
a picture of something.
Mm-hmm.
But it's
most
just like
videos
fucking insane.
Yeah, like most
just go out there.
Yeah. Some like most music videos, like there's two types of music videos. There's the one with the coherent story, and then there's the one where it's just random
bad shit crazy.
Like there's
well,
one
I
song.
think there's a third one which is just lame, where it's just the singer like with some dancers singing the song.
Oh, like
doing
blurred lines.
Yeah, like stuff like it on a set. Like very good.
No.
Yeah,
but
that's
this song I saw
Great
the music
job,
video
guys.
for Kali Ma, the fourth one, is so it cuts between all of them on a boat, all of them having a pillow fight in their underwear, them just like walking around the streets and stuff. And that's the whole thing.
That's great.
And it just cuts between those three things.
That's the other thing too, is like low budget music videos is a whole another thing, because it's like you have to you can tell they're trying to find ways to be creative with like $6.
Yeah.
Which is
but you can make some really great stuff on low budget stuff.
Oh yeah, I know. That's why it's like sometimes they're really cool. Because
Enemy is a great example of a low budget film.
Exactly.
That's a really low budget, right? Like
it's like a couple million.
It was made on like $8, I'm guessing, as opposed to the usual $6.
$8 and a pack of soda crackers. But yeah, that's the thing. Is like low budget movies are kind of the best because like.
Yeah.
They have to find ways to be creative, right?
Yeah, I remember, I forget, I don't know where I heard this, but I just think it's a cool quote where it's like, nothing good was made with infinite time and infinite resources.
Yeah, right? Like, what was it? I can't remember. There's some movie that I heard of, like, where they had that, but they just never finished it because they have infinite time.
So.
Like, it's never going to be perfect, right? But yeah, what I was going to say about the 2000s is, like, the 2000s never really had a thing to like call its own, except for Harry Potter.
Ooh,
think about it, and like what?
Because that's when the books all came out.
The books all came out from like late 90s to I want to say the last one was maybe 2010 or 11.
Let's fact check this.
Yeah,
the last one was 2011.
2011.
But the first
the first movie was like 99, maybe 2001.
I feel like
one of the two. No, probably. But like, and then all the books came out in that same decade, like within that period, and then all the movies also came out in that same period. So you have a generation of people growing up with the books. That same generation also growing up with the movies.
I know,
and not only that, but the story, each book and movie, the characters grow up and the maturity of the story develops as the characters are growing up. So
it's really cool because the target audience grew up with the characters.
And it's this, and that's, I think that all those things put together is why Harry Potter was such a cultural phenomenon. Because like,
I don't think that's ever been done before with because it's like, oh, this is an adult novel series. This is a young adult novel series. This is a kids book series. This is a kids series until it's a young adult novel series.
Yeah,
and like
it's a kids series, and then it progresses to young adult to most like regular adults series, like which is kind of crazy when you think about it, and it tells one complete story.
Yes.
It doesn't like bullshit like and then this happens, and then like they're not trying to like add Sorcerer's
Stone came out in 97.
Yeah, it's not like endless sequels to just try to come up with new stories.
No, because they had a set story.
It's one set story.
It's established right away. It's gonna be 7 years, and it's 7 years by the end of it. So Deathly Hallows Part 2 came out in 2011.
Yeah, Part 2 was 2011.
Yeah.
Okay, so
let me check.
When was the first one?
Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, or Philosopher's Stone. Whatever
Depending on
the
what-
frick you want to call it.
Depending on what
You know what's
country you're in.
dumb? Well, I think it's dumb because I'm just dumb.
What?
I think this is, you know why I'm dumb? Because I totally forget why Nicholas Flamel is relevant to the plot before I watch Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone.
It's
Every
because
time I
that
watch
movie
it.
isn't about the Philosopher's Stone. It's
Yeah.
about introducing the world of Harry Potter,
They do a great job of that.
which that it does a good job of. But it's like they don't even mention the Philosopher's Stone
Okay, 2001.
to like an hour and a half into the movie. or
Yeah,
something
no,
like that.
it's
it's kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, 2001.
2001. Yeah, so
It's a
2001.
2.5 hour movie.
Yeah, it's the longest one.
No, 4 is the longest one. No, 2 is the longest
Two
one.
is the longest?
2 hours and 40 minutes.
Really? I
Does
thought
it-
one was the
No, it
longest.
doesn't feel the longest because everything is important.
Because everything is important and it's
Yeah.
all about the Chamber
Yeah.
of Secrets the whole time.
Yeah.
Where the first one is just, hey, look at that magic thing. Hey, look at that magic thing. Hey,
Yeah.
look, there's a troll.
It's like it's like that that kind of like I don't know what to call it. I almost want to call it the Harry Potter effect that you see in like you see that with like Rey and Finn almost in the Force Awakens where it's like,
Oh, yeah.
wow, look at that cool thing.
Wow, look at
Wow,
that.
cool thing. I'm starry-eyed and naive, and I
Yeah.
think, and she's like there's the,
Whoa, what
they're,
a
like they're in the Millennium
crazy
Falcon,
world we're getting into.
like they're in the Millennium Falcon, and Rey's just like, I love magic.
Yeah.
That's
What's so funny is Harry has that moment in every movie.
Oh, even in the
even
fifth,
like the
even
fifth,
the fifth one,
fifth and
one,
like
they
sixth
open
one,
like a
maybe.
wall or something,
Yeah.
and he's seen that like a million times.
Yeah.
No, doesn't like a building like
Yeah, there's like a secret building
Yeah.
between two other buildings,
Yeah.
and he like pushes them
Yeah.
open, and it's
and
and then he's
just
like,
whoa,
"Whoa,
I love magic.
magic."
and then the sixth one, that's when they learn to like apparate and stuff, and then he's just like, and then they're just kind of
I think the sixth one is the first one where he doesn't have that moment.
No,
where
because it's focusing too much on the teen drama
Yeah.
about relationships.
Yeah, that's the only one that's. I
know.
don't know. Was that one good? Is that one good?
I don't know.
It's definitely the worst one
Yeah,
of the
I would have to
series,
say yes.
but I still think it's passable.
Yeah.
I still call it passable, and that's the thing.
There's some
like-
really good stuff at the end. Like all the Malfoy stuff is great.
Yeah, all the Malfoy stuff, all the stuff with Dumbledore is
Mhm.
great.
Yeah.
The like couple flashbacks we get of Voldemort are
Oh,
pretty
yeah.
cool. It's just like there's a lot of stuff that we like that is just nonsense and like
Oh my god.
there's
no redeemable quality.
like it's just romance and teen drama for most of the movie,
yeah.
and all of that you could probably skip. Like
Yeah.
like you like
Let's
that's
be
not the
real.
main part. That's like not the main
Oh,
story.
there's that one part where like Ron almost dies. That's a scene in the movie.
Is it?
Yeah.
When does that happen?
So he's got like a love potion or something, and then he's like
Oh, right,
and then he's
and then he-
foaming at the mouth.
Right, and then it was actually like he drank something that was actually poisoned, and
Yeah.
because that was one of Draco's plots to kill Dumbledore.
Yeah.
And they just kind of gloss over all that
I
stuff,
know.
which is like the actual meat of the story.
Yeah.
Which is really interesting because Draco ultimately is a good person,
Yeah.
but like his parents are shitheads and they work for
He's
even worse.
Yeah. So
shithead.
even shittier shithead.
An even shittier shithead. So he's like
Yeah.
yes, he's like
Yeah.
he
And
has
you
to
know-
get
yeah.
initiated into this cult, and
Yeah, pretty much.
and they're like, okay, you gotta kill the principal of your school.
Like that's a really shitty draw.
Yeah, like-
it's like, and it's like so you're like none of it's his fault. Like,
No,
you really,
exactly
So
right.
he's not really like that's what's kind of cool is that like in the first like book / movie or whatever you're just like wow what a dick
Yeah,
and
this
then
guy's
like
kind of a dick.
and then later you're just kind of like
Yeah.
oh
Yeah, then
you know?
you meet his like parents, and you're like, oh, that's why.
Yeah. You get it and you're like and then like by the end you're like oh so you're not like
Yeah.
not like a complete dick.
Yeah, you're
It's
just
kind of
kind
like, it's kind of like what they did for Swing Kids, where it's just like, oh, you're not a dick. It's just you live in Nazi Germany,
Yeah,
so you're
so-
gonna become a Nazi. Like,
yeah,
that's just what
exactly.
happens. Holy shit! Okay, I'm actually terrified. I saw this. Like, I swear to God, I saw this on like I saw a video. This one guy, and he's just like, it was one of the Trump guys.
Oh,
I know
yeah.
that. And he's like, "Hail Trump!" and like they're like people doing like the Nazi salute and stuff. And I'm just
Oh
like,
my god.
like, how fucking stupid are you to support this guy? This is literally you
Yeah.
cannot be more on the nose
Yeah,
than
come
this.
on.
Like how fucking stupid
Are
are
you-
you to support this guy?
It's almost like, it's so weird because
It's
it's like,
so surreal.
it's very surreal, and it's like, is this a joke? Like,
I know.
like,
I saw this one. Nate sent
Like-
me. Shout out to Nate. I guess he's probably not listening to this, but anyways, friend
He
Nate.
should be.
He sent me a picture of it's like it was like a fake YouTube video. It's like 10 pranks that went way too far, and it was the electoral map
Yeah.
of the U.S. And it's
it's
I know.
bizarre.
Yeah,
I wish that they had what's his name?
Bernie. Yeah.
Because
Did you see that where it's
he
like
would have just
it's A New Hope, Empire Strikes Back, and Return of the Jedi, and
No.
Bernie Sanders is Return of the Jedi.
Yeah. Oh man. I hope.
Trump is Empire, and Obama is A New Hope.
Oh yes. That's great.
Yeah. So there's a picture floating around a lot.
That's hilarious. But yeah, because if he was running against Trump,
Yeah.
he would have destroyed him.
Oh my gosh.
There wouldn't have been a contest.
You know what's BS
And that's
about?
like the only thing that like ruined it is like Hillary's kind of shady, and so Trump just like hammered that home, and it's like then everyone was suddenly like, I don't know who to choose, and then then that ruined it, right?
Yeah.
that lost the war.
Yeah. I know, but like I saw this one thing. What I think is total bull. What upsets me the most about this is that the only reason, so Bernie was not the front runner for, he lost like this one state or whatever because he got he got more votes, but like Hillary got more seats or something like that. And then this one guy was explaining the other guy. He's like yes. So he's like that's how it works. It's like I know, but like that's stupid. This system's freaking broken.
Yeah, that's stupid.
I know that's how it works.
But it's still dumb.
But it's broken because more people said they wanted Bernie and he lost.
Yeah,
and you know what else? Which is
same thing would happen like
with the main election, which is that 300,000 people said they wanted Hillary. 300,000 more people said they wanted Hillary more than Trump. Yet Trump won.
But Trump still won
because American politics are broken. That's 0.1% of your country. That's how much she won by. She was ahead, and they call that. You know what they call that? You know what they call that? They call that the popular vote. They call that the democracy you won vote.
Yeah.
Like you should.
She won the popular.
I think
that's bullshit right there.
I know.
That's what you call bullshit on democracy.
I know. That's what I think.
Because that's the whole point of democracy.
I know. Is that more people said they wanted one person than the other person, but they still lost.
Yeah.
And like I think that it makes sense where it's like okay, so like within the ridings or whatever, so it's very similar to Canadian politics.
Yeah, it's
within
the
the
same
riding.
thing in
so
Canada,
maybe within those ridings or whatever, they get those people win and they go up whatever. But Hillary should still be the main president though, because she got more votes.
Yeah, that's like
you can have more Republicans than Democrats in your main politics. But Hillary should still be the president because more people voted for a blue. Person.
Right. Like, and that's what's weird because I thought it would. I misunderstood how American politics worked.
I think it's similar to Canada.
It's basically how Canada works.
Yeah.
I thought it was just like you had the two options, vote for one of them, and whoever gets the most votes wins. But it's more bullshitty than that. So which sucks.
Apparently it's more complicated than Canadian politics.
Yeah. Well, like ours is the same as theirs, but we have multiple parties.
The electoral map when Obama won is mostly red, like just because of the density of their population. Like the right side of America is way more dense in population than the left side of America.
Right. Yeah. That makes sense. Yeah, because it's
all
all the major cities are.
All the major cities and all the stuff, and then like not a lot of people live in tornado section.
Yeah, the rest is like desert. So
yeah, I know. It's like who would live in a place called Tornado Alley? It's like
who would live in a place called Crime Alley? You don't choose to live there. You just grow up there and never leave.
Yeah.
I don't think it's we're moving to Tornado Alley. Like it's,
no.
It's just like you just happen to be born.
No, I remember it's like recently there was another like earthquake and tsunami in Japan. And I'm just like, well, that's what happens.
That's what happens when you live in Japan.
This shouldn't be surprising.
Yeah, a lot of Tokyo and a lot of Japan is like earthquake proof. Like all their buildings are like designed.
Oh, earthquake proof buildings are really cool because it's not like we made it super strong. It's like the building can janky back and forth.
Yeah, it like shakes so that it doesn't fall.
Yeah,
which is kind of cool. Yeah. It's the opposite of what you would think you need.
Yeah,
but like when you realize how it works,
that's how momentum works.
Yeah,
that's how most.
It's like Jello.
Yeah, pretty much. You ever punched Jello? Knows how it comes back to its regular state. Exactly.
It's original state.
Yeah.
But yeah, Harry Potter's pretty cool, right?
Yeah. No, I think it's kind of a crapshoot of a series. Like what I mean by that is that like almost like because they switch directors so many times.
Oh, yeah.
The style switches.
Yeah, the style switches, but I think it still works because it switches when the maturity of it switches.
Yeah.
And like the last 4 are the same director, and the first 2 are also the same director.
Yeah.
So it like
it's so weird
that
that
style.
David Yates made
but-
the best and the worst.
And the
Harry
worst
Potter
Harry Potter movie,
movies.
which is super weird.
Yeah.
Like he made 7, part 1 and 2, and 6, which is
and 5 is really good.
5 is
I think
really good.
think rating them, I would put 5 up pretty high. But I saw movie fights for what the best Harry Potter movie is, and it's like
what they
okay,
choose?
so they chose 7, 2, 3, and 1.
3 and 1.
I would have chosen
Okay.
5. I think I could argue.
I would have.
You would have chosen 2.
I would have chosen 2, 3, or 7, part 1 because those are my favorites.
Okay, mine are 7, part 2, 5.
Because part 2 is okay.
Probably 2.
Like part 2 is still really good, and it's a great ending of the series, and there's a lot of great stuff in it.
Yeah.
It's just like there's a few like nitpicks that I have, like
but in
like
7 part 1, 7 part 1 is all character moments.
And it's great, and I love it. I love
that's why I'm excited for Logan. Logan looks like a Harry Potter 7 part 1.
It does look like that.
Where instead of your giant X-Men with just a bunch of you take a look at the climax of Apocalypse, where you got Magneto shooting a bunch of shit. Everyone's shooting their shit.
Shooting lasers.
Everyone's shooting their shit at Apocalypse, like an episode of Avengers versus Against Heroes, like that scene in Age of Ultron when they're all fighting the robots and then they all shoot their laser at Ultron. And like
it's just like that.
It's just like a lot of that, but like this is like going to be a really tight think about this. There are 3 main
There's
characters.
only 3 characters.
You can tell a really good story.
They're gonna be on a road trip.
It's gonna be a great road trip movie.
That's what I want.
It's gonna be a great road trip movie.
Just like these characters just interacting for 2 hours.
With some badass action, hopefully.
Like we're gonna get cool action.
I want to see.
And I'm glad that what I'm thinking is that the R rating, because I was kind of worried when they were like, oh yeah, it's gonna be R, because it's like. Because they're doing that because Deadpool was successful, and so they think, oh, if we make the movie rated R, then people will like it.
Yeah, that's what I remember. Mr. Sunday Movies had a whole video about how more people are going to make movies rated R. It's like Deadpool didn't do well because it was rated R. It did well because it was Deadpool.
Yeah, exactly. And I remember right when they were
it's a totally good story.
When they were first reviewing Deadpool, they were like, oh, do you think that studios are finally going to learn that because of this movie that if you just do the character justice and you just adapt it properly, then it'll be a successful movie because it'll be a good story. And then they were like no, they're probably going to do something stupid and be like, oh, well, this movie was probably successful because it had fourth wall breaks and was rated R.
Yeah, I know, because studios aren't smart.
No, because studios don't pay attention to the story, they look at numbers. Yeah. And that's why movies have been rated PG-13 for the last 20 years is because more people can go see PG-13 movies, and so they typically make more money and stuff like that. But what was I saying? Oh yeah, I think Logan isn't just gonna be like, oh yeah, it's rated R. There's gonna be tons of swearing and nudity and and dicks and strippers and violence and look at all that blood. I think it's just gonna be. When Wolverine kills people, like he does in most movies, you see blood when that happens, and he kills them in slightly more violent ways. Yeah. Where he stabs a guy through the face. And stuff
that looks awesome.
Which I'm like, okay, that's cool.
That's the thing you almost did the next one, but didn't.
Yeah, and
it's weird that I call it X1.
X1, yeah.
X1, X2, X3.
That's usually cool? That's fine because it might as well be because it's too annoying because instead of going X-Men.
X2, X-Men United, X-Men 3.
The Last Stand. No, it's not X-Men 3 The Last Stand. X-Men The Last Stand.
With a 3 on the cover.
But there's a 3 on the cover because of Wolverine's claws. Get it? Yeah. Get it? It's the third one.
Yeah.
Get it?
I get it. I get it. It's dumb, though. Okay.
But, just think about the 2000s. What other, movie series really mattered in the 2000s, or was really good? X-Men kind of started the superhero trend.
The Star Wars prequels.
The Star Wars prequels were crap. Yeah. What else did we get? I guess we got the Fast and Furious movies.
Yeah, but that's it. That's a good one.
But those didn't get good until
Fast 5.
until Fast 5, which was like 2011.
Yeah.
So
Well, Tokyo Drift is pretty bad, but it's fun.
Yeah, like they're fun.
And the guy from Tokyo Drift's coming back for Fast 8,
which is great. Like
which
I love.
I hope he's like one of the main guys because he's casted.
Okay, yeah.
And he's playing the same character, but I don't know if he's going to be like one of the main
like join the
driver.
crew.
I want him to join the crew though.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be sick?
That would
you
be
get
sick.
Mr. I phase in and out of a southern accent.
Yeah. Depending on
Depending on the context.
Yeah, I want him back because he's like the weirdest character.
I know. Because like it's literally. Tokyo Drift is literally the Karate Kid 2
It's
with
the Karate
cars.
Kid 2, but with cars.
But like, he even sees like Han, like Mr. Han in the Karate Kid remake with Jaden Smith.
Yeah, and
so, you know what's dumb? The Karate Kid remake with Jaden Smith.
Yeah, because he doesn't fucking learn karate.
Also, the original holds up way more. On so many levels.
And it has it's annoying because it's just a movie that has like a few classic moments. It's the classic.
Yeah.
It's the classic hero arc, like what do you call
Hero's
it?
Journey.
Hero's journey.
Yeah.
There's like all the classic archetypes.
Also, it's a great like high school.
It's a classic high school 80s movie.
Yeah.
It has like a few classic moments, like the sweep the leg, wax on, wax off,
the crane,
catching the fly with the chopstick, and like. That's it. Like, that's all that it needs to succeed. And, like, just trying to remake that, it's like, you don't need to...
Yeah.
There's not
But
enough...
they made a bunch of money, though.
Yeah, that's the reason.
Remakes aren't necessary.
But, like, there's not enough, like, new story or, like, more you could tell with that. It's like, you might as well just tell a different story that happens to have similarities to it. Because, like, it's... Like, there's no point in remaking that story because it's just the hero's journey with like a few really cool moments.
I would say remakes only work if you're like doing John Carpenter's The Thing.
Yeah.
Because like
I
didn't see the original, but
they only work.
It came out like the 50s, right? So like it was probably limited by the technology of its time.
And yeah, that's the main thing that's great about John Carpenter's The Thing is the special effects.
The practical effects are on point. Yeah. And, like, everything, oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's so cool. And, like, yeah, just, like, how they made that movie is really, really cool.
And where they made the actors all really cool. So that you could, and,
so
like, they never told the actors who the thing was when they were filming.
Who the thing was, unless it was the scene where, like, one of the actors becomes the thing. But other than that, like, they would never tell them who it was. So, like, everyone was like,
there's the one guy at the end.
I don't know.
Apparently, like, there's, like, a theory or something, but it's basically confirmed that the one guy, you know how it's, like, Kurt Russell and that other guy were alive at the end? Apparently, the other guy is the thing.
Okay.
And he, like, drinks from, like, one of their Molotov cocktails or something.
Oh, okay.
And it's like, oh, that proves it. It's like, it's alcohol, so I don't really understand it, but whatever.
Oh, okay.
Whatever, who cares?
I'm sure there's evidence.
Yeah, there's some evidence there or whatever. And you just kind of like, and it's like, yep, we're glad we kept you here.
Okay.
Okay, did you see a trailer for Life?
No.
There's this movie called Life, and it's got Jake Gyllenhaal and Ryan Reynolds, and it's like space thriller horror, like where they're like, oh, we found this like, basically the main plot or whatever is like, you know, you got like they're just kind of like establishing their characters or whatever. This is how the trailer goes. And and then they're like, oh look, we found this like bacteria thing or whatever on Mars. Then they're more talking about like life on Mars and like other planets and stuff. Right. And then there's this one scene of this guy and then like he's just like and then like it's a bunch of random shots of like you know shit's going down. Right. You know bad things are happening, but you can't really tell what's going on because of space. Movie, and like all the shots are really like close up. Like this movie's gonna be really claustrophobic. Like and it's like it looks really good though.
Cool. There seems like there's a bunch of like sci-fi movies that look pretty cool coming out recently. Like Arrival just came out.
Oh, I
haven't seen that yet, but apparently it's really, really good.
Is it? Wait, what did it get? Did it get a thing? Like what did Jeremy Jones say about it?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, do you want to see Hacksaw Ridge today?
Sure, I guess.
guess. All I heard that was really good.
Oh yeah, I've heard that was good. Like
Yeah.
the main one that I still haven't seen is Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them.
Yeah.
But
I don't really have any interest in that.
yeah,
To be
see,
honest.
it's I'm not sure because I reread the book, the textbook,
Yeah.
and like the
Isn't
intro.
Isn't it just an information?
It's
book?
just about like it just like tells you about all the different creatures in the world of Harry Potter. So it's like here's about a dragon, they're blah blah blah, and stuff like
This
that.
is their armor class.
But like at the beginning, there's like about the author, and it like gives a little bit about it. It's like Newt Scamander traveled the world trying to find different magical beasts and where to find them and stuff. And then he wrote a book about it. And like the movie synopsis is like, oh, he goes to the U.S. and accidentally unleashes a bunch of magical creatures, and then they have to find them. I'm like, oh, that doesn't sound that interesting.
Yeah.
I thought it was gonna be like magical Indiana Jones, but instead
I know,
of artifacts, it was like
that'd be amazing. Like this,
magical
like there's like
creatures.
this dragon, and it's like
Like-
and then
yeah.
he just pulls out a gun and shoots it.
Well, he wouldn't use it. But yeah, like I don't know. I feel like there's more you could do with that than just he goes to New York and meets Colin Farrell. I don't know. It didn't look that, and also it's not like a this is just a fun side story we decided to tell. Like the plan is to make like 100 sequels.
They're making 5.
5. Like why the fuck would they make 5?
I don't know.
Like it's weird too because J.K. Rowling wrote the script.
Yeah.
So it's like
when she writes a script and not a book first, it's kind of weird.
That's weird. One, and like that's fine. She could do that. She can do it.
Yeah, I know, but books and scripts are very different. Like, there are things you can do in books that you can't do in movies, and things you can do in movies that you can't do in books.
Yeah, like they're different.
Books
mediums,
don't have music, so like
Yeah, like they're different mediums and stuff like that. I understand that, but it's weird to me because like Harry Potter was. It was a planned, like, I'm sure, like, I think I think it's fair to say after the first one, she had a plan of where the series was going and where it finished, and it ended, and, like, it was perfect, and it was, like, that's the story of Harry Potter.
Yeah.
And if you want to do, like, side stories of also in that universe, but they don't, like, affect what happened in the main story, that's fine. Mm-hmm. Like, you can do that. But, like, it's like, oh, we're going to have, like, 5 Fantastic Beasts movies. It's like, I don't really want that. Mm-hmm. Like, is there really like that such a great story that you need 5 movies to tell it? Like, I don't know. Like,
no, I don't think so. I think they're just probably.
It feels like they're just like, oh, let's just fucking make more money because Harry Potter.
Just make it up as you go along.
Like, and that feels like just the world that we're in now.
Yeah,
movies just like just make a million sequels to every property from the 80s and 90s and just remake everything and just add the same thing but new.
I know.
And then people will go and it'll make billions of dollars. And I don't know. I don't know. I kind of am interested because it's Harry Potter and whatever. Maybe it's good, but like, I don't want to I don't know. I don't want to watch another series of 20 movies and just kind of weird because I like Harry Potter.
Yeah.
I like it because it's a complete story and it matures and
I like it when something has an ending. Like I'm watching Breaking Bad right now.
Yeah.
I'm in season 3.
Nice.
And episode 2 I just watched it's like you know how it's gonna end because the guy is dying. Like it's not he's not anymore, I think. I don't know, it's weird.
Yeah.
Like oh, you just had a really great I'm like, okay. So it's like, oh, you just got an 80% reduction in your tumor. So I'm like, oh, I guess the writers found out they had more seasons. Kind of thing goes off in my head.
Like that show is 5 seasons and it has a complete story and it has a complete character arc. And they had an idea of where they were going. Probably not like they knew every season planned out to the T.
Oh yeah, I just watched the episode where Jesse buys back his house.
Oh yeah,
it's pretty badass. I think.
Yeah, Jesse's great.
Yeah, he's fantastic, and I think because he just left rehab because Jessica Jones died.
Oh yeah. I forgot she was in that show. I knew I recognized her in Jessica Jones.
Yeah.
But I forgot who she.
Yeah.
What I recognized her from, and then later I rememred that she was.
When I was watching Breaking Bad, I'm like, is that Jessica Jones? I take one look because her hair is all different. I'm like, okay. And he's because right now he doesn't have like he's wearing like now he wears like well-fitting clothes and doesn't say bitch after every sentence and like he's like definitely a more composed human being because he left rehab. Like he's still he's still kind of like an asshole though, and I think it's great. I really like where his character is going. I think he's gonna get like a full-on arc. I don't want him to die at the end though. I feel like he might though. I feel like he might. The way you're looking at me, because I think you can tell me if this is how it ends or not. But this is kind of how I would want it to end.
Okay.
Which is that like it's something like a good like let's say like 17 years later after Walt dies, because I know he dies, and because some guy gave away the very very end to me.
Okay.
For some reason, because people are weird.
Yeah, I know.
When you tell them, I'm like, oh, when he says, have you watched Breaking Bad, and you say no, they decide to give away the ending anyway.
That was like with me when the 7th book of Harry Potter first came out. I knew like 3 people that told me what happened in the end. I'm like,
same.
Thanks. I didn't need to know that. Like I
don't know.
I didn't ask. The books,
I didn't ask.
I know the movies are gonna eventually get to that point, and then like I'll see what happens. You don't have to tell me.
Yeah. So, anyways, no. But like this could still happen though, even with the real ending that I kind of know about. But like I would want something like 17 years later after Walt dies, and like it's like okay, we're ready to show you this thing or whatever. And like it's like maybe it's like, and I want to see like Walt's daughter, and she's like, you know, a 17-year-old now, and she's like or like 16 or something, and I don't know. Anyways, she's older now, and she like and she finds like the one like she's like watching the one video or whatever that of like her baby shower where like Walt says some like super like nice shit to her or whatever about like he loves her and stuff, and how he's probably gonna like miss most of her life or whatever. And then like the like maybe like the tape, like I don't know how this is gonna transition in this, but then maybe it's like and then like she like finds that like with all of the like meth money he has. So like she like watched that, and she's like she like sees all this money and like sees like this, and she's like just bawling. Like
that's pretty good. Yeah, like Breaking Bad is interesting because I think the 5th season is the weakest season.
Really,
in my opinion.
And that's the last 3 episodes.
The last couple episodes are great. Like it's the finale is pretty great. Yeah. But it's just there's just a few things that I have like nitpicks with, and I'll get into.
You'll get to it when I finish it. We can do a full Breaking Bad episode.
Yeah, sure. But like the main thing is the villain of that season sucks.
Oh, okay.
And the villain of the couple seasons before that is like amazing.
Okay, because I'm in season 3, and the bad guys. They're just like these 2 guys who don't talk. They're so ominous and like badass and like
see every villain up to season 5 has been like an amazing villain.
Yeah.
And then like season 5 they finally like have a villain that's just like a guy, and it's like
okay. But it's not like
but I mean like
it's not an interesting villain like Zemo.
It's not interesting.
Oh, you're just a guy, but like
no, it's not an interesting character. It's just like that guy's just an asshole.
Oh, okay.
It's just that. It is. I guess you could be like, well, it's because Walt's the villain now. And I get that, but like, by that point,
I thought Walt was just kind of losing it.
Well, I mean, like, he becomes, you know how he's progressed more and more.
He's killed a person.
He's gone more crazy and more like done more terrible shit.
Like the beginning of the episode I watched, he like basically just like loses it on this police officer because the police officer pulls him over for having a broken windshield.
Oh, right.
He's like, you want to know why my windshield's broken? Because a freaking plane blew up above my house and hellfire rained down on it. Like it's just like and like that was amazing. I love that season 2 finale because because there's 2 corpses, so it's like I'm like, ooh, that's. It's like I think that's like they're supposed to be like a I know that's a misdirect for Walt and Jesse.
Yeah.
But like it's like you think that it's gonna be like I'm like, oh, so there's gonna be some kind of like a throwdown at Walt's house, I'm guessing, because there's cops everywhere, like there's like people investigating everywhere and stuff, and like pulling out like all this evidence and like all like putting things in plastic bags, so it's like you think that there's like a full on investigation going on, but then it's something else completely different. That still happens because of drugs, though.
Yeah.
And so the whole show, and like that's when I realized like the show is just about how drugs mess with you.
Drugs like
affect
ruin
you.
lives.
Yeah, basically. This is just how, and like that was such a cool moment. When
Oh,
it's, like just like thinking about how everything like ties together and like
Yeah, everything they do has consequences, which
Yeah.
is like such a cool thing.
yeah.
But yeah, like it's brutal.
Mhm.
But yeah, it's really great. So
Yeah.
one thing that is kind of sucky about Breaking Bad is there's no good female characters. All the best characters are males, and the only two female characters suck.
So you're talking like Walt's wife and
Walt's wife and her sister.
her sister.
Her sister's just a terrible person,
Yeah.
and she is just made out to be a nightmare to be around, even though she's always in the right.
Yeah.
I don't know how far are you. Has she found out about what Walt's doing?
This was really cool in season 3. I didn't think she would like find out that like quickly, like because in season 3, like season 2, she leaves him. He's like,
Right.
she's like, I'm giving you a weekend to pack up your stuff and get the fuck out.
Right.
I'm done with the lies. I'm done with all your lies or whatever.
Yeah.
And then he's like, okay. And then she's like, and then like the next one, he's like, oh, let me like just explain myself or whatever. It's all we can work this out. It's gonna be
everything I've done. It's for my family.
You know, he's like, no, it's not that. He's like, it's good. It's all good. We can work this out. And then she's just like, I know you're a drug dealer.
Right.
It's just like, and then it's just like an oh shit.
Yeah.
Wow. I guess you're actually smart. Like that's pretty cool.
Yeah. But like,
he's like, I don't deal the drugs. I just make them.
yeah.
It's all good. I'm not in danger.
The manufacturer.
I'm just the manufacturer. So like now
Completely different.
So his main goal now, he's like, I have like $500,000.
Right.
I just want to earn my family's trust back so that that was why I started doing this, for my family. Now I don't have a family. I want my freaking family back.
Yes, what am I doing?
Oh yeah, so then anyways, the end of the episode I just watched Walt breaks into his own house. And like those two guys are like about to kill him.
Oh right, yeah.
But then guess what? The chicken man who's Pierce's brother.
Yeah.
Anyways, they get a text that says Polos. So you're like, so then like because of all the connections and shit. So like you're like, oh damn, so they're under him as well. And he's like, oh shit, don't kill my meth man.
Yeah.
So like, and it's just like, oh man, this is so many like, it's not the drugs. It goes so deep. Like,
yeah, it's those.
You kind of see how it starts though when, like, because it's like at first it's just like, okay, we'll just get someone else to, we'll be the supplier, and then we'll sell to a dealer, and like that worked until the dealer tried to kill us.
Yeah.
Which is really cool.
Yeah,
so
and like
actually.
it's kind of great.
So like if you see the general progression of, and you understand
like why it's like, okay, yeah. Now our drug dealing is finally working, and then like some other problem happens, and they're like, now we have to deal with this. It's like such a great it's such a great premise for a show.
Oh, the one episode is it's really really cool, because I remember there's the one episode that starts out with there's this guy very very shady. He's very shady. He's just chilling, like obviously waiting to sell drugs to someone.
Right.
And like a couple of guys pull up in a car, and they show like the beginnings are always so ominous, but they show this kid like just riding around on a bike, just kind of
Oh yeah.
And like and there's a couple of guys in a car or whatever, and they just kind of pull up, hey, you want some? And they're like, just don't say anything. He's like, fuck off, whatever. And they just kind of like they drive away, and then they just pull up, and they're just like watching him. They're like, what the fuck are these guys doing? And then he gets shot, and then it's like it pans over, and there's a fucking kid on the bike, and he's holding a gun, and it's just like, oh my gosh, oh man, that's pretty dark. They get him early in the drug business, don't they? Like, it's like super dark, and
it's so dark. It only gets darker, which is
it's pretty great though. But I think it's really cool though.
Yeah, it is. It's a really cool show. But yeah, like, what's her name? Sky.
Yeah, Skylar. Yeah.
Like, she's completely in the right. Like, oh, you're lying to me. You're selling drugs. You're the worst ever, Walt. And then, but like the way they like execute the show, it's like, oh, you're such a buzzkill, Skylar.
Just let me do my legal work.
I've only killed like a few people. But like, and it's, I don't know, like there's no good female characters in the show.
Yeah.
And I think it has some of the best characters on television, but no good female characters.
Yeah. No, I know. Yeah, I know. But like, Jessica Jones was pretty good until she died. She's a pretty good
Oh
character.
yeah.
She's a pretty good character.
Actually, yeah. I would say she's the best female character in the show.
Yeah, it's
She's
very
the
like
only one that I'm like, yeah, okay.
Yeah,
sure.
it's only like it's almost like very like they kind of did that in like they basically pulled the season 2 finale of Grey's Anatomy.
Oh yeah.
Where it's like where Jesse and her are like, oh, we're gonna go to New Zealand. It's gonna be great. We're gonna have the best life ever. And then she dies because like Izzy is like, oh, Denny, you got your new heart. This is great. We're gonna have a great life together because he just like proposed to her or whatever.
Right.
It's like it's gonna be great. And then he dies. Freaking Jeffrey Dean Morgan. Yeah, so then I saw like one post where it's like when Jeffrey Dean Morgan ruins your TV show. And he's like Deacon
and Denny Duquette. That's great.
Yeah.
What was the other thing that he was in?
He's the comedian.
He's the comedian.
Batman v Superman.
Batman v Superman.
What's the main for? He's in.
He's in The Losers.
Oh yes. He's the main guy in that. It's not a good movie.
No, it's not a good movie, but it has one great scene with Chris Evans.
Where it's the Don't Stop Believing
scene. The Don't Stop Believing scene?
Yeah.
And that scene is worth watching.
Yeah, because I remember at the very end, it's pretty dumb and nothing gets resolved. The bad guys get away.
Like Chris Evans
but he jumps off the bridge and catches a trigger and like he emerges from the water holding the button down or whatever. It's like the stupidest shit ever, actually.
Yeah, there's like a bunch of like crazy action and like the end and stuff like that. But like yeah, the only like really great part is the
Don't Stop Believing.
The Don't Stop Believing scene. There's a couple other great parts with Chris Evans, like when there's a part with
Chris Evans.
Yeah, like he just Chris Evans it up and
yeah.
But there's like Zoe Saldana is also in it.
Oh yeah.
And like there's a part where there's a stick up, like it's a Mexican standoff.
Yeah.
But then she's pointing the gun at his dick, and then he's like, "Why is she pointing the gun at my dick?" and then it's just like this whole like exchange, but it's like hilarious.
Yeah. So have you seen it recently, or
no? I just saw that. I just watched that clip and the Don't Stop Believing scene.
Just watch the Chris Evans moments.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Chris Evans is pretty great. You know what else is great? I'm just remembering this now, which is Snowpiercer, which is pretty fantastic.
Yeah, Snowpiercer is pretty awesome.
Yeah. I should probably buy that. I kind of want to own it.
True.
Yeah, we can go to the mall today, maybe.
Let's go
to the mall today. I think there's certain things in let's go back to How I Met Your Mother. Okay, where it's like there's certain like Canadian jokes where it's like an American definitely wrote this. Or like
some, but yeah, then some are also like that's kind of true though.
Yeah, no. Most of them are like kind of true, but there's one where Robin like burns everything. She's like, sorry, I thought the oven was Celsius, and it's like, well, if she thought the oven was Celsius, everything should be undercooked.
Oh yeah, true.
If you said something to 180 Fahrenheit. Like, if you're thinking, like, 180 Celsius is pretty close to 350 Fahrenheit.
Right.
So, you said 180 Fahrenheit, that's, like, nothing. Like, you're not going to cook shit. Like, you're not going to cook shit with that. Like, nothing would happen. Like, I can understand if you think the oven is Fahrenheit, you set it to 350 degrees Celsius and burn everything. That makes sense.
Yeah.
But it doesn't because your writers aren't very intelligent.
Yeah, because they don't know how Celsius works.
They don't know how Celsius...
They just know that's
show. It's like this show is clearly written by... Americans.
Yeah.
Like, so I'm on my rewatch of the series.
Oh, you're rewatching it now?
Yeah, I'm on season 6.
Okay.
And that's the Zoe season.
Yeah.
Which is like it's kind of but there's a lot of great Barney stuff in it. And it just makes me even more sad when I think about the season.
I know, I can't like
this is great. I got over don't worry, I'm actually over the season finale.
I don't know,
but like
I just get over it.
No, but like I just don't accept it as canon, and I'm
That's
good.
Fair.
That's all I have to do. It's pretty easy.
Yeah,
there's like this great moment where he's like, there's no laugh tracks. It's just genuine drama. It's fantastic.
Yeah, and that's what's
where it's like
cool
it's him, and it's like him trying to get the basketball hoop off, and he's just like yelling, and him and his dad are just like yelling at each other. It's so weird.
Yeah.
And it's like there's no way he would like sleep around the way he does at the very end of the series.
Right?
Like it's so disappointing.
What really ruins it is the whole season. The whole final season is like proving to the audience and to the characters and to everything
that Barney
and Robin are going to work out. And then they're like, just kidding. And they're like,
it's just like, yeah, fuck you.
It's like, if they knew that was going to be the end, why did they build it up the whole season? Like,
maybe because
it's just like a punch
I feel like they might have like I don't know. We make the we'll make like the good edited version or whatever, where you just there would be no conflict in the episode, but like it would be great. It would be great to watch though.
Just be like, yeah,
it'd be like the Lord. It basically just be like the Lord of the Rings ending.
Yeah, where it just ends like 10 times.
Yeah, where you just
everyone gets
it's the first 10 minutes of the first episode, and then the alternate ending.
Yeah,
that would be everything you need.
Yeah, that's fair.
That works, right?
I know.
Because they even have like because in the alternate ending, the last shot is just the yellow umbrella floating around in the wind,
which is kind of nice.
Yeah. It makes
See, and that's the other thing too is like, I know for you didn't believe that Ted would ever go after Robin again after how great, perfect.
You know what? You know what else shows that it was made in season 1 is that in season 2 Robin gets rid of her dogs. Remember that?
Oh yeah.
And you don't see them again.
And they never show up again
until that episode.
Also, yeah, they shot like all the kids reacting parts. They shot all those in like the first couple seasons, and then that was it. Like they never brought them back because they. And then because they don't show up that often in the later seasons as well.
All they did, you know what they did for the kids? They shot them sitting on the couch once. And they shot them going what once, and then they shot that conversation. That's all they ever did.
There's actually I was watching this video where it showed that there's actually 2 different sets and 2 different like clothes that they wear.
Oh, okay.
Like there's one where, because you know how normally he's wearing like a green shirt?
The kid?
Yeah, the boy.
Wait, isn't his son named Luke?
I don't know what their names are. The names are just son and daughter, I think.
Oh, okay, no, but they named them later because his daughter's name is Penny.
Okay. I don't know how they know that. How that's, like, that's never mentioned in the show, is it?
I think it is at one point. I don't know. It's not important. Anyways, go on.
But, like, yeah, there's a part... Yeah, there's 2 different sets because there's one of them they're wearing different clothes, so it's like, oh, that's weird, because then you assume the rest is just because you assume it's the same every time. Then there's actually like 2 different parts.
Oh yeah, I remember. Oh yeah, I just saw this one episode that's pretty great in season 6 when the ending is fantastic when it's like it shows how Wendy the waitress meets this one guy at Marshall's work.
Okay.
Because they both hate Marshall because Marshall got him fired and Marshall made it so that Wendy has to carry a bunch of bottles.
Right.
From like, you know, because like environmental stuff or whatever.
Right.
And it's like, and then like, she's like, oh, she's like, damn, Marshall. He's like, did you say Marshall? Like, yeah. He's like, I hate that guy too. And then like, and this is all a flashback,
right?
Because they meet Ted at an airport in 2021.
Oh, yeah.
It's like Wendy the waitress. It's like that's how you guys met. He's like, oh, so it's like Ted. Are you still with Zoe? And he's like, no, that ended a long time ago.
Right.
I'm actually married with 2 kids now. It's a really funny story how I met her. So I was at this wedding filling a beer bottle, and then he's just like, yeah, Ted, we don't care. See you later. And they were like that close to like.
Yeah.
And like it's really funny because it's just like I guess Ted just tells stories like that all the time.
Well, yeah, that's like his defining character. Well, that's
trait.
not his defining character, but it's like one of his main things.
Yeah,
and that's what that's one of the things that's really cool about the show. It's a show about a story about telling stories. Like it's about a guy telling a story.
The entire show is flashbacks.
The entire show is flashbacks.
It's flashbacks within flashbacks within flash forwards and
yeah, it's just about the idea of telling a story. And what does that mean?
I love sandwiches.
Yeah.
Well, because you know it's a story he's telling to his kids to get really clever with stuff like that.
Yeah.
But it's like they weren't giving a thumbs up. Like
right. Yeah.
It's like Barney wasn't saying kiss.
Right.
Kiss. Why don't you shut the kiss up? Who cares? Nobody cares. The kissing movie's already over.
Yeah.
Because getting kicked out of the theater.
Right. Yeah.
It's almost more clever than.
Yeah, it's funnier
because this episode with Robbie Amell.
Oh yeah,
and he plays Scooby, and he's got like I got a big bag of sandwiches, and then he's got like 3 submarine sandwiches.
What I also like is they will show like flashbacks of them like in college, and
they'll just be eating a sandwich.
But then they'll also do flashbacks of them in high school, and they get the same actors to play them, with other high school kids. Yeah. So you have like 25-year-old Jason Segel with like a bunch of 15-year-olds.
Like that episode with when he's like when he wants when they're like talking about whether or not when they want to have a daughter or a son or whatever, and Marshall's like, no, all the girls I know are like strippers, and like we were like really mean, like we were like hit we hit on all girls and stuff when we were in school, and like I don't want my daughter to be like that.
Right.
And then Lily's like, well, all boys are my terrible kindergartners, so like I don't want that. But basically, there's like the one scene when he's like in high school or whatever, and they're like other high school kids or whatever, but he's Jason Segel.
Yeah.
Tara, booty is so smooth. And they're like in like a 4-part harmony or whatever. There's this girl Tara, and then that's why he doesn't want to name his daughter Tara. He's like, no, because people are gonna be creepy, like I was.
Yeah, and then they decide
in that scene he's holding a cane, and then he just drops it when he runs away, and he has it for no other reason.
That's great. And then they decide to name their kid Jamie, right? Jamie?
Yeah.
So they're like, oh, it's a unisex name. That's perfect.
Yeah.
But then they name their kid
Marvin. Yeah.
So it's like, never mind, we changed it.
Yeah, because that's what happens is that they're like, it's like, oh yes, that's a really great episode when it's like Lily, my sperm is okay, and then she's like, Marshall, your father, he had a heart attack, he didn't make it, and they're like, and then they're just like, and then he's just like. And they're just like both like super sad and just hugging. He's just like, and there's no laughing, no laugh tracks, and he's just like, I don't need this right now. Like, I can't deal with this right now.
I cried that episode.
Yeah,
it's so bad.
It's so great.
It was so great, so well done, but like so sad. And the whole like the last words thing where it's like my father's last words were. Rent Crocodile Dundee 2.
Rent Crocodile Dundee 3. It still holds up. I caught it on the cable last night. Still holds up. Yeah. Which is pretty fantastic. Yeah.
But yeah.
Pretty fantastic.
It's a good show.
Yeah, good show.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I watched. Yeah.
Hey, do you want to talk about Doctor Strange for like 1 minute, maybe?
Sure.
No. We got like 3 minutes.
Okay, we'll talk about Doctor Strange.
Yeah. Okay. So, what do you want to say?
Oh. How do you know I have a point?
You do.
I always have a point. Doctor Strange was really, really good. All the performances were great. The special effects were amazing and trippy, and I just loved every second of it.
You say all the good things because I have some problems with it.
Because it's just like I'm just like I loved every moment of it. It's just like I've never seen any of this shit. I love it. Like, I don't even know what it is, but
I don't know what's going on.
I've never seen it before.
There's a building on the floor and the ceiling, and they're standing on them, and it's falling.
His fingers are hands, and
his other small hands are coming out of his fingers, and then small hands are coming out of those fingers.
It's just like. They're just like, I've never seen any of this, and it's
great,
I love it.
The final battle is one of the most creative things ever. Because instead of your stupid, instead of your generic Marvel, I'm gonna go fight the villain that's exactly like me.
Fight the villain
who also has an Iron Man suit, who also has super soldier serum, who's also an Asgardian, who's also a Hulk, who's also who is just like me.
Who has the same powers as me.
Who has the same powers as me. Instead of fighting the sorcerer who has the same powers as me, I'm gonna basically just fuck over this alien.
Thing, and he beats it with knowledge too.
He beats it with his brain because he's a doctor and he's smart. And that's the whole point.
Yeah, but like the main
You can see Doctor Strange again if you want. We'll watch it in IMAX.
Yeah?
That'd be cool.
Yeah, that's true. I would want to see it in IMAX because I watched it just
same. I watched it in
2D theater. Like it's cheaper.
That'd be fun to do
and all that.
Yeah.
But yeah, for all the special effects and everything, I think it'd be worth the 3D.
No, but hear me out. Okay.
Could I say my?
You say your thing. You say
my main problem is I wish it was longer. It's an hour and 50.
Pick me. That's my problem.
It's an hour and 50 minutes.
I feel like
it could have, if they made it a little longer, they could have fleshed out the characters more and made it really strong, like a great movie.
Really strong because it almost feels like it's good, but it almost feels like rushed Marvel. We need to make this kind of thing.
Yeah, it's not a great movie.
Yeah,
if they made it a little bit longer, it would have been great.
My thing is that I feel like, and a lot of my friends actually agree with me on this. Well, at least the 2 people I've talked to who have seen this, which is that. I feel like the movie could have benefited from taking more time to tell its story.
Yes, definitely.
Because it's like bam, 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 story.
It's so fast paced and everything is happening so quickly. And even if they just did added 10 more minutes.
Yeah.
5 more minutes at the beginning
Yeah.
to develop him being an asshole at the beginning. Just a
Because
total
Tony
prick.
Stark has a great 20 minutes of just being a dick.
That's the best thing about the first Iron Man is his arc.
Yeah.
I
love it.
And then 5 minutes towards the end of just you know how the whole Dormammu, I've come to bargain. How that whole thing is
I've come to bargain.
Dormammu,
I've come to bargain. He says it like that because he's been in a Cumberbatch, but he's talking American, so he sounds like that.
Yeah. But that whole thing, if there was just 5 more minutes of that, of just Dormammu.
I would watch 5 more minutes of him getting killed.
Yeah, just killing him in more creative and more painful ways. Maybe he just chops his legs off and watches him bleed out. And maybe he just slowly peels off his skin or something like that.
Yeah.
Just so you get the feeling that he's really suffering for this, because it's haha, I've already won, I did it. You can't beat me because of time loop.
Yeah.
And he's
what
even is this? And he kills him, and they show
maybe
a couple
maybe a solid minute. 5 minutes is a little. Maybe it's just a solid minute of him just killing him.
And really, he rips his spine out or something.
Yeah.
He
can do anything.
It's his dimension, and he's got control over everything, so he can do whatever he wants, right? I don't know, just something.
Yeah.
Something just a little
dissolve
more.
His brain and
just have him melt in a pool of acid or something.
Yeah.
Just a little more of oh man, that really sucks to be Doctor Strange in this moment.
Yeah.
Because it felt more like he got killed instantly and then came back right away.
Yeah. I laughed after the first one. It's no, you have come to die. Boom! Shoots him with the laser. He's just gone. And I almost started laughing. I was oh my god, he's dead. What am I watching? And then he comes back. I'm am I watching Edge of Tomorrow? Is that what I'm watching? And then you first you don't know what's up, and then you you get it right away.
Yeah.
And
but it feels it's as soon as you see him come back, it's oh, he won. It doesn't feel like there's still a struggle.
Yeah.
And there's still it's not like a you know what, if I die for the rest of infinity, at least Earth gets to continue.
That's what he says.
Which is what he that's his plan, right?
Yeah.
That was and we don't really feel like he experienced that, or even and Mr. Sunday pointed out it would have been great if he said when he got out, it's hey, good job saving the day. It's I was in there for 10,000 years, or something like that, where it's it feel like Dormammu tried twice and then gave up.
Yeah.
He's oh man, I guess you got me.
Yeah, that'd be pretty great though.
But if he really tried, he gave it everything he had.
Yeah, that'd be fantastic.
I think that would have made the whole movie just that would have made it great.
Yeah,
that's what
I think. But my thing. Yeah, my thing. Just my other problem. I feel like they should have done a better job of showing passage of time when he was training.
Yeah, that's true.
They didn't do a very good.
Yeah, it was kind of vague how long.
Yeah,
he was
and it was
for.
If they showed some montage type things where it's oh. They did a good job with the portal thing or whatever. It's he doesn't get the portal. Now he gets the portal.
Yeah.
He doesn't know how to make weapons. Now he knows how to make weapons. And you show a general progression of an X-Men First Class style montage.
Yeah, that's true.
That's what this movie needed. This movie could have used a Matthew Vaughn training montage.
Yeah, because training montages are sometimes cheesy, but
when Matthew Vaughn does them, they're fantastic.
When they work, they're the most effective and the greatest way to show
passage of
time,
increase of skills,
conflict, increase of skill,
character relationship
character arc,
character relationship building. Because they build in X-Men First Class, the entire montage builds the relationship between Charles and Eric and Raven, Raven and Hank and Charles, Charles and Alex. Hank, Charles, and Alex together.
Yeah,
Hank and Alex,
Magneto and Mystique and
no, everyone gets almost. There's almost every combination of
character relations, and you understand the dynamics and how everyone works together.
Yeah.
The only time I could think of a movie where training montages don't work is Harry Potter 5. bringing it back. Because that movie is entirely training montages.
Oh yeah,
like
it pays off at the end.
It does eventually pay off, but like there's the first act, and then it's an hour of training montages, and then it's it's
an hour of montages.
Ending, an hour of montages, and then like the finale happens. And like that's
really good.
The finale is really cool.
Like
so
I love the
does
scene.
Kind of pay off.
I love this when you do this in things because I've imagined this. Some of the greatest scenes of my life is when I have flashbacks. I love it when you show scenes from past movies in current movies.
Oh yeah.
Like the Snape scene in 7 Part 2, fucking amazing.
Yeah,
that's like that whole pensive is awesome.
Yeah, and that scene is great because it adds so much to the rest of the series. Mm-hmm. And like it's like, oh, now I know why Snape is Snape. Yeah, and it makes the rest of the movies when you rewatch them like even better.
Though there's the one scene in 5 when he's just fucking tripping out on the floor. Or whatever,
oh yeah,
and he's almost like Voldemort's taking over his body. Yeah. And he's like, I have all the friendship.
But I have the friendship.
I have the entire first 4 movies to back me up. Yeah.
The friendship is strong with me.
Yeah,
it's a great moment.
And as much as that is kind of a BS reason, they do it so well that like I don't even care. Like
they do the same thing in Spectacular Spider-Man season 1 when the symbiote's trying to take him over.
Yeah.
He's like, the symbiote's like, oh, you don't need friends or anything. No one's ever done anything good for you. It's like, and then he's like, no, friendship, and it shows like Uncle Ben and like all this, and like Gwen Stacy and like all the past moments of the season where he's like saved somebody and like. People have been like, yes, yeah, Peter, you're a pretty cool guy.
And like Flash Thompson's like, Spider-Man's a pretty cool guy.
I like Spider, and like Liz and all the characters in this, and like it gets me every time. All the feels.
That might just be because you like Spider-Man.
It is exactly because I love Spider-Man, but also because Spectacular Spider-Man is the greatest Spider-Man series ever made, and it is incredibly well done, and it's the best version of Spider-Man we've ever seen.
Yeah.
On like other than the comics.
On a screen.
On a screen.
Yeah. Yeah, I still think I really like Tom Holland's Spider-Man.
Oh no, he's great too.
I think my friend keeps telling me this, and I completely agree with him. Spider-Man would work way better as a Netflix series.
Yeah.
Imagine that.
It's true because a lot of Spider-Man has a lot of great supporting characters, and it's harder to flesh out supporting characters in a movie, and it's much easier to have like an ensemble in like a like J. Jonah Jameson, like Flash Thompson, like Gwen Stacy, like all these characters that have their own personality and their own stories and stuff to tell.
Like Liz Allen, her brother becomes a supervillain.
Yeah, and like there's all kinds of crazy, cool stuff that with and like Harry Osborn, and his dad is also a supervillain,
and he also becomes a supervillain occasionally.
Yeah, and like it's such a great Spider-Man is such a great soap opera that it makes way more sense to put it on TV than in a movie.
Yeah. Spectacular is a fantastic adaptation.
Yeah, Spectacular did it pretty much the best that this ever done, and maybe ever will be.
What about Ultimate Spider-Man? How about that? You watched some of that with
I watched some of that, and like, it's not as good. There's some cool stuff, but it's a lot. It's not as mature. It's a lot of Spider-Man breaking the fourth wall, which he never does in the comics. Which is,
okay.
And it's a lot of...
Like, look, Deadpool. What? They just make him R-rated while they're at it.
Yeah. And it's a lot of... and it's so basic, and it's so, like, clearly made for kids that they don't even... Like, Spectacular Spider-Man is technically made for kids, but it's mature enough that, like...
You can enjoy it.
It doesn't speak down to its audience, and it doesn't...
No.
And it's not...
That's always the best balance.
And that's what Ultimate Spider-Man does. It's like... Oh, in case you didn't know what was happening, I'm going to explain what just happened. And it's like, I don't need that because I've been watching it. I'm not an idiot. Thanks for, like... and I think it's dumb to do that to kids because I think kids are smarter than most
people give them credit for.
Yeah. So, as long as you're telling the story in an effective way, then your audience should be able to follow it. So, like, the fact that you feel like you need to explain what's happening means that you're not doing a good enough job. That was a pretty good episode, guys.
Yeah, that's a pretty good episode.
In conclusion, Doctor Strange, not bad. Harry Potter, pretty good.